Okay. Hi, everyone. As you all are jumping in, yes, so I see a lot of you have your mics off. So just a couple of housekeeping items while people are kind of jumping in. If you want to have your cameras on, that is highly, highly recommended, just so that we can see all of the beautiful faces for today's session. Also, just make sure that you keep your mics off unless you have a question. Just make sure that you're raising your hand, and then we will call on you to be able to answer your question, or you can drop your question in the chat. So for those that just entered, make sure you have your mics off, and we encourage you to have your cameras on. We are recording this session, and we will be sending or uploading this to our YouTube channel and sending this out to everyone that came today. So I wanted to say hi to everyone on the call now, and hi to our future viewers via our YouTube. We will have a brief Q&A at the end, but if you have questions during, just raise your hand and we will try to get your question answered, or you can drop it in the chat. So thank you all for coming. Really appreciate it. See a lot of familiar names. So if you, like I said, if you want to have your camera on, you can. So we'll be just, a few more people will be joining us shortly. But I will introduce myself. My name is m.colvin. I am the Student Programs Coordinator for IABA. I know you all have seen a number of my emails that I've been sending out. So yes, I am glad you all are here to make it today. And we have another member on the call, and that's Casey. She's working with Nimble. If Casey, you want to briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. So glad you could join us today. So like Morgan said, I work with Nimble Strategies. We are consultants that we work with nonprofit organizations. So excited to have had this opportunity to work with IABA on their student programs and continue to work with them as next year approaches. So we're just happy you all could join us today to hear a little more about all of our student programs and what we have in stock for next year.
Yes, thank you, Casey. Thank you. Yes, Casey has been amazing helping us with all the student programming and getting all this stuff out to you all. So today's info session, Casey and I thought it would be a great idea to kind of just highlight a number of our programs, including our scholarship, which recently opened and closes January 31st. So definitely check that out as well. And I know I see a couple of past scholarship winners on the call too. So we'll be diving a little bit more into the next iteration of scholarships. And you all still need to apply again for that next iteration of applications. So Casey, if you're ready, I'll be letting people in as we go. We can go ahead and get started.
Let's go ahead and get started. For all of those who are here right now, we're going to let you click through to the next slide. So we are going to start off with our Actuarial Ambassador Program. So this program, you can click, this program actually comes from our companies. So this comes from our corporate sponsors and companies who get in touch and contact with our schools, and they really set this program up. So we encourage them to make sure that they have programming and actually you can click to the next slide, Morgan. Yeah, so it's really just made sure, like I said, we say here, raise awareness, provide ongoing mentoring to students, develop tools and skills, provide access, and deepen connections. Those are the real goals and principles of our ambassador program. Once again, like I said, like Morgan said, we encourage you to ask questions. This is a really high overview look at our programming for our students. And if you click to the next screen, Morgan, you can see what schools we currently have that are connected to our companies. So we are working to get more companies and more schools involved. We are working to get more actuarial students. If you don't see your school on there, no worries. We'll make sure that we put you on a list. We're also working to do some virtual events this year as well with our companies. So how we can, or I say this year, 2023, because it's quickly approaching. I don't know where you all are, but I'm in St. Louis and it snowed last night. So the end of 2022 is quickly approaching. Yeah, so we are just making sure that our companies and our students really have that connection and really raise awareness of the actuarial profession. And then how can our companies help deepen that connection to their school for our students. So like I said, not necessarily if your school is not on this list, we have options, and we have programs coming up that Morgan's going to touch on right now for you to. I'll give a second though if anyone has questions about the ambassador program. Perfect. All right, Morgan.
Yes, so we'll be moving on to boot camp, which is a really great program that I've really gotten the chance to oversee and see a number of students come in and really make it their own. So so our boot camp is a program designed to welcome actuarial students into the profession. So we have kind of like a breakdown of the boot camp, and we're trying to dive more into the introductory versus advanced, right? So boot camp has been described to be a start to exam program, and starting off with kind of what is an actuary, right? So we are really trying to provide students that are trying to enter the profession with this information. And it's different when you're in the profession or you're working towards an internship or job, but you're trying to learn about what an actuary really is. So the boot camp is another way to kind of learn more about the profession and what exactly it is, and also dives into ways that you can become more involved or ways that you can develop these skills to work as an actuary. Also, our program is geared towards Black college students in the undergraduate and graduate level. And we also see career changers enter this boot camp. So it is a virtual program. We do hold these sessions virtually via Zoom. And so anybody is able to, access this information. And then we also put it up on our YouTube channel, which is where this info session will be going as well. But we put those up there as well, just for that flexibility. So you have a great bootcamp program that provides that accessibility and flexibility and opportunity to you all. So another great benefit for the bootcamp is just if you complete all of the modules, you may qualify for a free or subsidized trip to the annual meeting. That happens. We had one, and this year it was in New Orleans, and next year it will be in Chicago. So if you participate in this program and complete all of the modules, you'll have an opportunity to attend that meeting either free or discounted. So I would definitely look out for that. And in the next slide, we're going to be talking about topics and just what to look out for. Yeah, so like I said, past session topics. So we talked about the day in the life of an actuary, interview skills, exam prep, personal branding, everything you need to really enter the profession and also obtain that dream internship or dream job that you're working towards currently. And if you continue to follow IABA for more information via our social media, so we do have a Twitter, an Instagram, a LinkedIn, a Facebook, any one of these, you can find more information on our bootcamp, and just look out for sign-up links.
And I'll say we have, we can go back to that one slide, right, one back. A lot of students on here or if any of your students out here have done boot camp before, if anyone wants to drop anything in the chat or go off of mute for, you know, what their favorite session was. We would encourage that right now. But we have done a lot with this resume review, personal branding. If you have followed IABA for a few years, you'll notice, as Morgan has said, this is a virtual event now. It's changed over a little bit to now, because we can do these things virtual, which is great. So we want to encourage our students to have that interaction with each other and with IABA through a virtual platform. And then Morgan said it too, and we always want to reiterate it. We reiterated a few times, opportunities to come to the annual meeting and meet people in person with this program is huge. So having that personal branding effect, having that technical skills, having that resume review and interview skills really continued to work on through everything, and then meeting a whole bunch of professionals in person in Chicago next year at our annual meeting in August is really a highlight of this program, and something that Morgan and I and other IABA professionals really work highly towards. Curtis, did you have a question or just a yeah?
Yes, no, I did have a question. Because the boot camp is virtual, is there a way to go back and look at, I'm not sure if they've been recorded, to look at some of the previous information or any of the boot camp information if they were recorded?
Yes, they were recorded and they're available on our YouTube channel. So they're still up there. We have not taken it down. I think we plan on taking it down just for that reason, that purpose. For anybody that's learning about our boot camp now, you will have those resources available for you the whole time. So yeah, if you are now just wanting to see what our boot camp looks like for the next iteration, you can go back and you can look at the videos that we still have up there now.
Great, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Being virtual, then we can, you know, we have maybe next year, we're also having a personal branding person come in and talk to our students. So it won't be the same information, it'll be similar, but we'll have both sessions up online. So our students can go, students and career changers, professionals, anyone really who needs information about personal branding. I keep mentioning that one because it's a big one. But we really start with a day in the life of an actuary. So what do different actuarial jobs look like? You know, there are many. So really starting off from, like Morgan said, from the start to exam. So ending with exam prep. Sorry, I really wanted to highlight boot camp. I think it is an amazing experience that hopefully so many of our students and professionals can really, you know, gain knowledge from.
I completely agree, Casey. I think that this is a really great program. We've seen a number of students, even when it was in person, it was a great program. And now that it's virtual, it even expands that, you know, that audience. And now people are able to, if they weren't able to attend the actual live session, they can just go back and go to the recorded session as well. So it's a lot of resources available to the students. And as Casey mentioned, and how I'll mention one more time, the annual meeting is it's a great place to connect. And even we've seen our students get job offers, etc., at this annual meeting. So it's very, very beneficial program for anybody looking to dive more into the actuarial profession.
Perfect. All right, we're only going to mention the annual meeting about 4 more times. So on to the next program. Exam prep. So our exam, I was clicking on my link on my screen too. And that's not the same link that you all see. Exam prep. So our exam prep program, as it states in its title, is prepping you to get ready for your exam FM, which is typically the first test that most actuarial students take. Currently, our program gets you ready for the October sitting, of the exam FM, but when you registered for this Zoom presentation, we asked you what sitting you were interested in taking, because we know there's an August, an October, and a December. So we are hearing feedback from our students and professionals alike that sometimes it'd be nice to have exam prep potentially for our August sitting. So please know that we're hearing that and we're looking into it, seeing how we can adjust our timing as well. But yeah, so exam prep gets you ready to take that exam. It is a program that runs about 20 weeks. It is a weekly session. You can click to the next one. Yep. So motivational support in our weekly sessions comes from our student facilitators. They are wonderful. They have all just passed their exam FM, so they know what it takes to pass the exam FM, to sit for it, and to really study for it as well. So our goal is never to find professional actuaries that have sat, and taken this exam years and years and years ago. Our goal is always to find students, to talk to students about the motivational and the educational support that they can receive, especially with coaching actuaries. There's a ton of information on coaching actuaries. There are numerous quizzes and support that you can find on coaching actuaries. And if accepted into the program, IABA provides that support for you free of charge. So we financial support covering the cost of coaching actuaries in our exam prep program is covered by us. And if you complete the whole program and do well with it, I will say, we definitely want to see, we want to cover the cost of sitting for the exam as well. So that's a hopefully incentive to complete the course. And we have students that complete it at different timing. We set weekly meetings so that it doesn't take up too much of your time at one time. But we also have students that, study in different ways. So we encourage and offer different ways to study for the exam FM.
Yes. And just to reiterate one more time, this is for exam FM. So we know that individuals are interested in the exam prep program for exam P, exam IFM, but right now we're just doing exam FM here at IABA.
We have heard you.
We
know that there are, opportunities for the future. Currently, next year, we will only be doing exam FM. So the next slide, I think Kat has information too on, will be more information coming in early January 2023, since if we're going to be sitting for the August exam FM, we've got a smidge bit of time. That's the exact amount of time that you have right there. Thank you for laughing, a few of you. So like I said, just really want to highlight our student facilitators in this program as well. They lead the sessions weekly. They're there to answer questions, not only on specific exam related questions, but like I said, a very opportunity to find, how do I study? What's the best method to study for these exams, and how to perform well on a very tough test as well. So there you go. No chance with the annual meeting with this one necessarily, but.
Right, yes. And this was just a nice quote from one of our past participants. You all can kind of read that, but overall, she was very just happy with the weekly meetings. It was a great opportunity, as Casey mentioned, with the student facilitators. They were able to discuss progress, problems they ran into, and it just gave them a consistent or constant opportunity to evaluate themselves and find their areas of weakness and how can they really tackle all of this, right? So they had access to their student facilitators and their peers. So it's a lot of motivational elements to this program where you can just, have that community feel as well. So just wanted to provide this quote for you all to kind of give you an understanding of what other exam prep participants took away from it. Yes, so next we're going to be getting into mentoring program, which is another great program. All of these programs are amazing, but I know that regarding development of a young professional or someone aspiring to be an actuary, you need mentorship. And in the next slide, we're going to talk about the goals of the program. So overall, for our mentees, we want to promote career development. And we do this by connecting them with our professionals, our mentors who are here and have gone through exactly what you all have gone through. And now they're wanting to give back. So they help those with an interest in the actuarial profession or in the major if you're at a university or college right now pursuing that. Our mentors provide valuable and insightful information to help mentees, work and even enter the profession. We've seen a number of topics with our mentoring connections, and overall, they're talking about exam prep, they're talking about technical skills, they're talking about just overall career development and growth. So this is a great resource to kind of figure out and map out that plan with your mentor. And yes, so mentors provide an opportunity for professionals to give back and create connections and opportunities to learn. So our mentees are really benefiting from these connections with these actuaries who have, been in the profession from like 2 to 5 years or even longer than that. You want to have that firsthand knowledge, and you want to connect with somebody that's understands you through and through. So that's something that our mentoring program offers to anybody that's looking to get into the actuarial profession. Yeah, some general information. Just sign up at iaba.cronus.com to get connected. We do have an info session that we held in September. If you go onto the platform, you can go to help and resources, and our video will be right there. And it's Casey and I kind of diving a little bit more into the program and how you can sign up and just the overall details and importance of the program. So if you sign up at iaba.cronus.com, you can access that information as well. And our mentoring connections do last up to 6 months. Or they last for 6 months, and you can extend it if you want to. That's up to you. If you are enjoying your mentor, you all have really developed a great relationship, you can extend it on the platform and just continue that relationship. That's the purpose, is connecting you with somebody that really is helping you and pushing you in a direction that you want to go. So yes, I'll pause very quickly for any questions. I know we went over a couple of programs, and I know a few of you are really interested in that exam prep program, as you mentioned on the registration list or registration sheet that you all filled out. Are there any questions at this point? You can drop it in the chat or you can raise your hand, but okay. You can still drop it in the chat or raise your hand at any point. Don't feel like because we're still going that you can't. Please ask questions. That is why we're here. All right.
It's me.
Yes, this is you.
Okay. I was like, scholarship, yay! That's what a lot of people also want to hear about. So our scholarship program it provides our undergraduate and graduate level students, qualified Black students, with a scholarship. That's really, we didn't hide anything in the title there. We didn't hide anything in the title. So you have to be obviously pursuing an actuarial education, and it will be going to you. So there are a lot of questions that have come up about scholarships. We actually have a Q&A that we've put together, and we can direct you to that on the website as well. But good news, the scholarship application just opened a little November 1st, and it will be open until January 31st. So there are some requirements that are needed for the scholarship application to be completed, and we'll go over those in a second. So just keep an eye out if you're interested in the scholarship. This is not one that you would just fill out your name, school you're attending, and check a box. You do need some resume, transcript, things of that nature. So wanting to make sure, that our actuarial students have time to get those together, especially at the end of the year. So, but like I said, this is a really great opportunity for to win a scholarship to your university or college. Also, here we go. We're going to talk about annual meeting. So if you win a scholarship, write that down. If you win a scholarship, we definitely want to invite you and encourage you to come to the annual meeting. So not only is it a chance to win some tuition money for yourself, for your college, but also a chance to then meet and have that interaction with professional actuaries and hear sessions. Great question, Curtis, too. The amount of scholarship depends on your year in your college. So we range from $1,500 to $5,000, depending on the year you are at your university or college. We also have co-branded scholarships. So some of those come from companies that will also provide a potential for an internship. I say potential, opportunity, you pick the word, because some do and some don't. So, but all of our scholarship winners, we send all of their information about their college and their resume to our companies, so they can see and get to know you before the annual meeting. So they might want to meet you in person. They might want to do a Zoom interview with you. Excuse me. And they might have an opportunity for you to have an internship with them. So not only is it a financial scholarship to your university, also, like I said, big opportunity for entry-level interviews with our companies that help support IABA as well. So it's a big opportunity, something that we put a lot of work and effort into along with our students. We will have another information session about scholarships once the scholarships are chosen with those students, to make sure that they are really understanding of what, what's included, what goes along with it as well. So like I said, it goes along with having that increased likelihood of securing a potential job. Lots of ifs, opportunities, potential likelihood for a job. And so we want to highlight our students as best as possible. So I think you can skip to the next one. Perfect. So like I said, we opened on November 1st. We close on January 31st. And it ranges, so like I said, in our merit-based scholarships, it's also for full-time students during the upcoming next year. So if you win after it closes, it'll be for the 2023-2024 school year. And then skipping one more ahead. For the application, one more back, there you go. Yeah. The application, like I said, we are happy to answer any questions, help you through this process as well. Please just reach out and let us know. The amount will be sent directly to your university or college. So unfortunately, you're not going to get a check in the mail for this, but it'll be sent directly to your university or college. And it'll be towards your tuition. So making sure you have your student school transcript, that can come from your college. They're happy to release that to you. A resume, obviously going back and watching previous year boot camp, our resume review session that we had online would be a great opportunity. We're also happy to review your resume if given enough time. I will not review a resume on January 30th for a January 31st deadline. And this year, we really encourage a personal statement. It's been on the application in years past, but really, diving into why you're applying for this scholarship. What would it mean to you to have this scholarship? What would it mean to you to have the tuition assistance, but also to come to the annual meeting? So those are two questions that would go along with that personal statement. And then any actuarial tests you've taken in the past. Also any scheduled tests that you have coming up that are available for you as well. We take those all into consideration. And then asking for a recommendation from a professor that you're working with right now, or that maybe is in the math department, if you don't have an actuarial department. We take those into consideration as well.
Yes. Yes, and I just wanted to add, as Casey mentioned earlier, she mentioned that we have an FAQ page or QA page on our website, blackactuaries.org. You can, any questions that you may have, you can of course email me, but more than likely it's on that page as well. So I would definitely use that resource first. But if you did apply last year or this year that just, the last iteration that just passed, you do have to reapply. So it's not an ongoing basis where you at this point are now going to be receiving the scholarship every time. No, you have to reapply every iteration. So I definitely just wanted to reiterate that.
All right,
If you're
I got a
reapplying-
question,
Oh,
Morgan.
go ahead. Hi, Isaac.
What? Morgan, I got a question.
Yes, Isaac.
All right, so if you're coming out of school in the fall, can you still reapply?
Yes, you can still reapply. Casey, do you want to give a little bit more specifics on that? Like if the fall, is it that they will get half or would they get the whole in that
Isaac,
semester?
you're graduating, or where would you be next fall?
Okay, so this is my last fall, and I know others are like that, and we are graduating maybe in May. So do we still stand a chance of
unfortunately, so this would be for next fall that we would this scholarship would be for. So if you'd like to come to the annual meeting, I would encourage you to do the boot camp if that was your goal. The scholarship though would be for next year's start of the school. So if that makes sense. So we would send out checks in late August to your school. So you'd already be graduating. Congratulations and good luck. If you do go to graduate school though, this could be something you apply for because you'll still be in school then at a different university or college. Does that make sense?
Okay, so if I get you right, you must be in school in the next fall.
Yes.
That's the eligibility, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. But if you are getting into a company, it means that you still not qualified for the scholarship.
Not for the scholarship. The scholarship would go directly to your college, so you would need to be enrolled in school for next year.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but that brings up other points too that we have. We didn't add to this PowerPoint that we are recently adding into some things. So we have our annual meeting, but we also now are going to be offering a virtual career fair. So if that is something next year in the spring and fall that you're interested, make sure to keep following us on social media, and you can potentially, look for careers, jobs, positions that are open on our virtual career fair. So that might be something, if you're already graduating, that might be of interest to you.
All right, Casey, what if you're going to a different school? I mean, does it still apply?
Yeah, as long as you're in school. So if you're, Isaac, it sounds like maybe you might be going to a graduate school or another. So if you're finishing this year at your school, and then your next year, so let's say September of 2023, you will be at school somewhere, you can apply for this scholarship. We just
Awesome.
need to know where you're at.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And you also mentioned that about a company. So definitely talk with your company, see what is available to you. They have, I know that a lot of companies, we just met at our leadership retreat, they have a number of resources available. So I would just recommend for all the students transitioning kind of out of that student life to definitely connect with your company and figure out what they offer to you now.
They might even be able to send you to the annual meeting to hear some great speakers and connect, as you will be professionals then at that point as well.
Yeah, yeah. There was a question somebody asked, where are the applications located? So you can go on blackactuaries.org and under, I believe it's like under programs, you can click on the scholarship, and the scholarship application should, like the link should pop up, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's all located on blackactuaries.org. We did send it out to other scholarship websites, so you might see them on a few other as well that they're advertising for us, but ultimately, yeah, blackactuaries.org. No problem.
All right, Casey. Yeah, please, on the information that you need for the application, the fourth one, school you will be attending in the fall. So provided a prospective student has applied to, let's say, 3 schools, and he is applying for the scholarship. So which school will he need to input in there, or does that person need to input all the 3 schools?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are, or someone's applying to different schools and hasn't figured out what school they'll be attending by January 31st. Just make sure to put one school in there that you think you will be attending. We can always, after the scholarship, if you win a scholarship, we can always update that college or university to the school you will be attending in the fall, but make sure that that is filled in with at least one of those colleges. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That was a
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. I applied for the scholarship just this week, and last year when I applied for the university, I chose actuarial science and statistics, but due to certain reasons, I'm doing statistics now. So I wanted to know if statistics students are also considered for the scholarship, because I applied and the other schools didn't give me the funding. I got the admission all right, but I didn't get the funding for the actuarial science program. So I'm currently enrolled in statistics. Yeah.
I'm not going to say yes, or I'm not going to say no either. So I think definitely making sure that that's part of your personal statement is a great way to continue to let us know what's happening with your education and where you're leading to. We just require that if, that there is a dedication to the actuarial profession. Now that includes statistics, mathematics, those topics right there. And we know some schools don't have an actuarial science full program with a major. They have actuarial classes. So definitely thank you for applying and good luck. And I say, yeah, to make sure that, like I said, part of that personal statement includes that information.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes, and thank you for joining us today. Yeah, and I saw that Jaredy, or did you already ask your question, Jaredy?
Yes, I have a question. So my first question, I know my first question does not apply to me, but just in case like someone applied to a scholarship, right? And then as Isaac said, their school year is ending in fall, right? It's not going to January. No, the spring semester. So if you were like, for me, like right now, I'm a scholarship recipient, and let's say there is a chunk of money that goes into fall and then another one that goes into spring. So if you were, I guess, chosen to for this kind of scholarship, let's say 1,500 the first semester, 1,500 the second semester. So is there a way on the application? I don't remember what I did for the last application. Is there a way to specify if it's just fall? So that was my first question. So my second question, what are the resources available for someone who's getting into the actual profession? Is there any resources available to get them situated? I know we can reach out to our company and you know, find out what resources they have. So, but what are the resources that are provided by IABA? Thank you.
Yeah, let me answer the scholarship question first. So if you are, I'm gonna remind myself of this question too. So if you are, you've got, it's half and half, each, half for the first semester, half for the second semester. If you are going to be at school next year, so next August or September, October, November, but only for half a semester, only for that first semester, and then you're graduating, you can still apply for the scholarship, but you will only receive that first semester towards tuition. The other half isn't just going to go to you. You're only going to receive the one semester that you're at the school. So I think that was the answer, or what you were looking for, and you can feel free to go back off of mute.
So is it do you mention that in the personal statement?
Yeah, feel free to mention that in the personal statement. We'll also ask, I think one of the questions, actually, I know one of the questions on the scholarship application is anticipated date of graduation for next year, for your next college or university. So if you are planning to graduate in December, let's say, of 2023, we'll know that, and we'll know that there is only going to need to be one semester of scholarship given.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then your second question was about becoming an actuary and financial assistance to once you're in a job. Was that correct? Or looking for jobs? Is that?
No, it's like you're already getting into the job, into the profession. So are there any resources available? Not particularly finances, but I don't know, kind of like mentoring, like as we, like for now, right now, we have mentors as students. So does that continue into the profession as well?
Yeah, definitely. We encourage our mentorship program that Morgan spoke about. We would encourage early actuaries, so new to the profession, to also sign up and to get a mentor that is further up in their career. It's not just students to professional actuaries. So we would encourage, like I said, if new into the career, to also sign up to be on the mentoring program, and have someone that you can speak to that's been there for a while and has some more of that knowledge. So the mentorship program is really, a positive experience, we hope, for everyone, no matter what level that they're at in their career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So since you mentioned you also mentioned the financial part, even though it wasn't my target. So is there something like that also? And what does that look like? Because
yeah, I was actually gonna say there's probably we have the scholarship program, but that is just for students. The exam prep program has some financial back to it, where we cover cost, but not necessarily you know, giving that cost over to you by any means, but I would say our mentorship program is the best for moving forward without a financial side to it.
Thank you.
Yes. No
Hi,
problem.
Katie.
Yeah.
All right. So is it mandatory to provide personal email and school email? Because provided a prospective student graduated from college 2 years or 1 year back, so would that person still need to provide a personal email and a school email?
So when it comes, speaking about the scholarship application, when it comes to a personal and school email address, we are really just looking for the best way to reach you. So a lot of times that comes in the form of a school email, since you are at school during the time period that we're trying to reach out. But if you check your personal email regularly and respond regularly, that is totally fine. Making sure that it is the best way to contact you. So personal email in both of those spaces. I don't want to say to everyone, please do that, but if that is the best way to reach you, and your school email is gonna not work for, you know, if you're changing schools, please provide a personal email.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, Nicole asked a question too.
Yes.
It changes, Nicole, year to year. It really depends on the amount of our budget. I'm not gonna lie about that. It depends on how much money, you know, corporate and financial assistance that we can get to help support our students as well. So in the past, I would say we're probably aiming for about, you know, 70 or so scholarships. So it's a good amount of scholarships that are going to go out to students. But it all depends on what that scholarship, you know, what your application looks like too. So, you know, how, what your resume looks like, what your school transcript looks like as well. So, but our goal is always to give as much back to our students as possible.
There's some great questions. Are there any other questions we can maybe about scholarship? I know some are interested in.
Yeah, my final question is, how do I enroll in the mentorship program? Is there a link, available link for me to?
Yes. Yeah, you can. You can get it at IABA.cronus.com. I'll drop it in the chat as well. I think that might be a little easier for you all.
And you can go back, and Morgan said you can watch, we have a about an hour-long video where we really dive into the mentorship program. I will say there is, I think, Morgan, it's a two-step process to register. So you have to put your email in, you'll get an email that confirms that you're using that email. Then you put more information in, and then you get a confirmation that you've that you're in the program, or that you're on the application. The website. There you go. Confusing myself with all the different titles.
Yes, so definitely do that process and everything. But once you are on the platform, you do want to hop back on there and do kind of like a mentor request. So once you watch that video, that's available on iaba.cronus.com. I dropped it in the chat. Once you're finally signed up on the platform, you can go to help and resources to access that video to kind of dive a little bit more into how you can really find a mentor and start your connection.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. There was a question sent to me directly. So it said, are online and part-time actuarial students eligible for the actuarial scholarship? That is a great question.
Yeah, I would say go ahead and apply and make sure that you have, you know, filled out that current school transcript, the resume, the personal statement, really talk about what you're doing right now and how you're continuing to look forward to that actuarial profession that you all are working so hard towards. So yeah, continue to apply, and we'll figure out how that money gets sent to you and how that gets sent, you know, pushed to. But we'll but apply and let us know what's happening.
Yeah, definitely let us know your personal statements. But that is a great question. So we encourage you to apply.
Great.
Yes. Are there any more questions? You can definitely.
Say, Morgan, if you skip to the next slide, it just has the brief overview of, you know, our application, as you've seen, are open right now. Morgan mentioned the mentorship program. We aim to do fall, and then right at the end of winter, beginning of spring again, but it is definitely open. So please feel free to enroll in mentorship whenever you can. And then keep an eye out for information coming soon on a boot camp and exam prep program. So, but you guys have asked so many great questions. This is wonderful.
Yes. It's been so exciting.
Other questions that you all have, comments? We will stay on for a little while. So that is our presentation, but if anyone would like to stay on and ask some more questions or need some guidance on something, please feel free to stay on. And we look forward to getting to hopefully see lots of new faces at the boot camp, the mentoring sessions, and see your names in the scholarship applications. And then of course, see you in person at the annual meeting.
Yes. Please, we would love to see a lot of you at the annual meeting. And
Thank you so much, Morgan and Cassie.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jared. It's so good to see you again.
Morgan, do you want to drop your email in the chat box? And then also IABA@blackactuaries.org is another email address, but Morgan's going to drop her email in the chat so that if you can get in touch with her directly, or both, she can get in touch with us both.
Yep. So yeah, I just dropped that in the chat. Please email me. I love getting students in my email and asking questions about the programs, or just, you know, the actuarial profession as well. So if you all have any more questions that you know, you think of later, definitely email me and I can get you an answer, try to get you an answer as well.
Okay, can I please ask one quick question before?
Yes.
Yes, so it's about the N1 meeting at I mean next year. I'm currently in Canada, and I was as an international student, I would need a visa in order to attend the annual meeting if I plan to attend. And considering the current wait times, I had to kind of make preparations on time, or preparations early, in order to get an interview before the annual meeting. So the current interview date available, or the one that I have, is in March, and the annual meeting is in August. And my question is regard to the support available. So I believe the list for students who will be receiving support to attend the annual meeting would come somewhere closer to the annual meeting. And in obtaining my visa, I will need to kind of like also prove that I've received an invitation and all those things. So in this case, with my interview being way before the meeting, how do I prove?
Yeah, if you email Morgan or that IABA email, we have a letter that we can definitely send from IABA that talks about our annual meeting, scholarship, boot camp, and approval process that we want you to be able to come to the annual meeting, and we can get that to you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, then I would reach out to Morgan after the meeting.
Yep, reach out. Yep.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for being on top of it and not waiting until the last minute, knowing that it does take a little bit longer to get those international visas.
Yeah, because currently the dates available are in 2024. So
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely reach out to me and we'll talk more about it for sure. Thank you, Caleb, for that question.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Yes, that was, like I said, that was a great question because that was a topic, a big topic for this past annual meeting. So definitely I would, if there are any international students on this call or watching, the recording, start planning a little bit earlier. I know that, the annual meeting is such a great resource and a great way to connect with potential employers and peers. Definitely start to plan a little bit earlier. And if you need any assistance with letters, as Casey mentioned, we can definitely get that for you. So just email me and we'll talk more. Great.
Well, thank you all so much. Like I said, please reach out if you have any other additional questions or need assistance with anything, and have a great rest of your day.